For this example, we're going to do a quick demo of PowerOLAP's logical operators within the formula, right-hand side of a formula. The logical operators within PowerOLAP allow you to do if, and, or operations based on true or false statements. Much like Excel, the result of a formula can be based on these if, and, or results. First, we're going to add a new member to our accounts dimension. That new account, or that new value, is going to be a good-bad indicator. We'll call it status. For status, what we'll do is we will calculate whether our sales are good or bad, and based on our good or bad indicator, we will write something into that cell. So now that I've added that member to the dimension, I click OK, Model, Cube, Future Year Model, Formulas. The left-hand side of our formula, along the accounts dimension, I'm going to pick status. I'm simply going to do this at the detail level at this point. Select OK. Now, what we want to do in this example is, if our sales are at a certain level, we want to indicate that they're good. Otherwise, we want to indicate that they're bad. So to do this, we will insert an if function. Scroll down the function list until we find if, and we'll double-click on it. By default, PowerOLAP fills in the default syntax of the function. The standard syntax is if test condition, then true, otherwise false. To those Excel users, this is obviously very familiar. Our test condition is going to be a point indicator, or a point within a cube. To define the test condition, I'll double-click on the text, select the brackets, go to the future year model, which is our current cube, and select what I want to look at. In this example, our test condition is going to be our sales numbers. So I'll click sales. So now what we want to do is set a threshold on our sales. We're going to specify that our sales are greater than 1,000. If our sales are greater than 1,000, we're going to return a true expression. Our true expression is simply going to be the word good. If our sales are not greater than 1,000, we're going to simply return the text false. And we will terminate our formula with a semicolon. I'll select check syntax. There are no syntax errors. Select OK, OK, and now I'll recalculate the slice. As we can see, for Canada, our sales were at 600. Therefore, we don't have good sales. For USA, it was 1,120. Therefore, we have good. If I retype the value for Canada and make that 3,000, you can see that now our formula is returning good. This ability to dynamically calculate a value based on a condition within your cube is a very powerful, useful feature within PowerOLAP. In addition to if conditions, we can also do and or conditions. Let's modify our sample. For this, I will change our value back to 640. We once again have false. I'm going to go into the cube, future year model. Now, for this one, I not only want good to be indicated by our sales, but I also want it to be impacted by our gross profit. So to do this, I'm going to do an AND function. I want our sales to be greater than 1,000 and our gross profit to be greater than 500. So to do this, I will select where I want the AND statement inserted. I'll find the AND function in our list, double-click on it. It will insert our conditional statements. I'll copy what I did before and paste that in as the first portion or the first condition in our if statement. For readability, I'll hit a return. I want to create a second condition. An AND function can contain any number of conditions you want to include in it, as well as an OR function. Next, I will click the square brackets indicating I want to return a point. So again, going to future year model. This time I want to do gross profit. I want my gross profit to be greater than 500. I will check syntax. There are no syntax errors. I will hit OK. OK. Recalculate. And now, as you can see, under USA, our condition is false due to the fact that our gross profit is not greater than 500. If I change our cost of sales to 300, we now have a good status, since 1120 minus 300 is 820, which is greater than 500, and 1120 is also greater than 1,000. Let's move to Canada. I'll type in 1100 or 1100. As you can see, this once again has changed to a status of good. Since our value for sales is greater than 1,000, cost of sales is 400, therefore our gross profit is 700. By changing this now to 700, our status now changes to false due to the fact that our gross profit has dropped below the 500 threshold.